Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get this flower finished up. So after you glued everything onto your box, okay, and you let it dry, hopefully 48 hours, but again, you could stick it out in the sun and see if it dries quicker that way, or at least, at the very, very least, 24 hours, okay? So you would have then your flower all glued on here and still empty. So what I've done is I just painted that background, right? I painted the top of my box white so we can work on it from here. And I put some brown in the middle and I put some orange all the way around on the petals. So that's going to be our starting point for the rest of the project, okay? So what we want to do now is we want to add some darker areas to our flower and we want to add some brighter areas. So go ahead and mix up orange. You're going to do that mixing yellow and red, okay? So yellow and red, make a little bit of orange. Then I'm going to add a little bit of brown to my plate and use my small brush. Remember, we're going to use a larger brush and a smaller brush. We're going to use a smaller brush for this. So I'm going to take a little brown and just mix it up in the corner of my orange. If you can see that. Okay. Move some of this out of the way there. Okay. So I'm mixing up some brown in my orange. And I'm going to go and I'm going to find where my flower has some little wrinkles where this would be kind of like in the shadows, right? I'm going to put some of this mixture of color in there, okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep adding that. Can you see that where it's darker in some of the areas of our flower? We have some lighter areas, and we're going to have some lighter areas, and we do have some darker areas now. That starts to give it a little bit dimension, doesn't it? Okay, so maybe we'll put some over here. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Mix up some more. Okay. And we're just going to keep painting it, putting a little bit in some of these little wrinkles of our flower. So that way when we add the highlights, it will give it a lot of nice dimension, okay? All right. So I've got that on there. So now I want to make some brighter areas on some of these tips of the flower petals, right? So I'm going to grab some yellow and some white. I actually have some white on here, so on my palette, I've got some orange over here still, it's clean, yellow and white. So I'm going to grab just a little bit of the orange and a little bit of the yellow and a bunch of white on my brush. And we're going to make kind of a yellow-orange. If you're out of orange, you can always make more if you need it, okay? With the red and the yellow. So I've made a lighter, you see it right there, okay? Now I'm going to take that color and just kind of brush it on the tips, edges of some of my petals. So you can see, like this is a new petal right here, and that's a different petal, right? So there's some bright spots on there. So I'm bringing some bright into my flower, brightening it up, like the spring sunshine, right? Okay. Alright, so we just go around all the petals and add some brightness to it. Brighten it up, brighten it up. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that to my petals. We're almost done with this part, and then we're going to add a little bit more to the brown in the middle of our flower, and that'll be so pretty. Okay, whoop. Let's see which leaf is missing some, I think, right here. Yep. That looks pretty. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to wash my brush, and I think I want to add a little bit of gray. So colors that make gray, right? Black and white. We're going to add those to the middle of our flower, and I'm going to show you what I mean. get a little bit more white, some black. Excuse me, not too much. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of the black, just a little bit, and mix it in the corner of my white and make some gray. Okay, and that I'm going to just tap, 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 tap it around in the middle of my flower. See how that's coming along? Looks like there's seeds in there, maybe. Painting sideways, so it's a little bit difficult for me to see over there. Okay, let's see. Ooh, let's have a look and see how that's coming along, and then we're going to paint the background of our box. Oh, that's super cool. Okay, so let's put it over here. Now, I want for the background, I want some blue, kind of light blue. So I'm going to add blue and some white to my plate. Now, if your plate is too messy, you can certainly have another plate. But I'm just going to keep going with what I have right now. Now I'm going to shift over and use my bigger brush for the background. So I'm mixing a little bit of white in the blue. Okay. And now I'm just going to paint this all over the pizza box in between all of my petals. Now, if you're doing this at home, you're going to probably want your flower to get good and dry. They dry pretty quick, so I would say within an hour or so. So let your flower dry and then paint your background, and then you should have a better result. And if you need to use a smaller brush, getting closer to your flower, if you're afraid that you're going to hit the flower petals, that's okay. You can certainly use a smaller brush for that. But I'm just going to go ahead and paint ours so we can see how that looks when it's all done. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited to see the finished project. Okay. Again, I'm off to the side here, so it's a little difficult for me to see if I'm missing a spot. So hopefully I'm not missing a spot. All right, so let me check this out and see how it's looking. That's pretty good. All right, so there's our finished product there. A sunflower. I like it. I think it came out really cool. I hope you like making these flowers with me today, and hope you guys enjoy your spring break. Have a great time, and we'll see you back next week after it's all over for some more online learning. Bye.